a dog dying.
Yeah, like if I'm watching a movie, I could give a shit about human beings, but the minute you kill a dog or a cat, I'm done.
Exactly, dude.
Like I get John Wick, like I completely get it.
Exactly. I didn't think of a good roast for JN this week. I need to think of one real quick.
Oh crap, I forgot.
It's so easy, but so hard at the same time.
Let's see, where's all my roast? Um, hmm. Damn it, I don't know.
We're live already too. This is great
Yeah,
content.
it's great,
Both of us
great stuff.
just sitting here thinking of a
uh,
roast for one of our producers.
it looks like a. I got one. I got one. That just hit me.
All right, hold on. Let me write this down. All right,
I
we
don't
can
know
go
if I'm
ahead.
going to use that. I don't know.
Is it racist? Tell me it's
No,
racist.
no.
I bet it's racist.
Uh,
I have mine written down. And a few plot points to write about from the week. I don't know if you have much to talk about, but
not really.
a few things written down.
All right.
I figure we only do 30 minutes on these anyways. So.
Yeah, I was thinking we could just talk about the show the other night and whatever.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. Get that out of
I'm
the way.
I'm ready if you are.
All right. Here we go. In three, two, one.
This episode of the Open Micros podcast is brought to you by that dirty, rotten motherfucker, BJ DeBlow. He knows exactly what he did, and he would have started his own podcast, but he was too chicken shit. Oh, and also, if you like Jay but think he's too good looking, try the Jester's Court, hosted by Jay's fat twin, Mike Eveland, found wherever podcasts can be downloaded. I actually just did an episode of that. It was a lot of fun. We talked about Batman Forever. Streaming now. Oh, and when I asked J.N. Reynolds what he wanted his ad read to be for the episode, he said, roast the shit out of me. So J.N. Reynolds looks like if an AT&T call center and erectile dysfunction did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z.
What? Okay, then. To me, looks like he directs Muppet porn. Here we go. Oh, man, Jacob, you know what that music means? It means it's time for the Open Micros podcast. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm Jacob Craig, and it's another one of these, man. Just
Yeah.
me and you. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I.
Just two of us. Okay. No one paid to hear that.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Man.
get a DMR, whatever it's called, takedown on Twitch for
Yeah,
singing
dude.
that song.
Get a DNR.
Mm-hmm.
I should get one of those.
Do
in
not
place.
resuscitate.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just me and you.
Yeah.
Talking, bullshitting.
What are we doing?
So
what are we talking about? What we got on the agenda?
Dude, a lot of things have happened since the last time we did an episode, but at the same time, it's not a lot of things that happen. It's just one of those weird things.
What is
How
time anymore? Time doesn't exist anymore.
but what's been going on in Jason Robbins' life since the last time we did an episode of Open Micers?
Well, we did the comedy competition in Mobile.
Yeah, that was a shit show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a big barrel of monkey shit, is what that was.
Talk about your experience there. What happened to you?
So we get over there. Let me paint the picture. So Jacob asked me like a couple days beforehand if
Something
I wanted
like
to
that.
do the comedy competition in Mobile, and I was thinking it was going to be like what, maybe 10, 12 comedians tops over
15 at
there.
most.
Yeah, 15 at the most. We get well. First off, we head over to Mobile. It's Friday night. We figure might be a few people there. We weren't expecting anything crazy because like at the Alabama Music Box, it's really hard to get people in there to watch comedy. So I wasn't really expecting because the night before, Jacob, you were there doing a show with who did you open for?
I opened for Nick Youssef,
Nick
and we
Youssef.
performed for a total of 15 people.
Yeah, so keep in mind, we're thinking there's going to be probably about 15, maybe 20 people there tops. And we get to Mobile, and apparently there's an art walk going on in downtown Mobile, and we had to park like a mile and a half away from the bar because we couldn't find a place to park. And we finally get there. We're supposed to be there at 8. I think we finally showed up about 8:15. And there's over 20 comics ready to do this thing. 21 in total. So do the math. 21 times 5. What is that? See, 5.
You're asking the wrong person.
105 minutes. That's almost 2 hours straight of comedy. Just the 5-minute sets. That's not counting the beginning, and the time in between. And which they then started the show late. It was supposed to start at like 8:30. They didn't even start till like 9:30, and the crowd got quite rowdy, to say the least. Like we started getting people in there that were one of the other comics that was there brought a bunch of people from where he worked, and it was. How would you describe the crowd of people? It was.
Like a barrel of monkeys?
Let's just say a bit rednecky. A little bit.
Well, I won't say the place where they worked, but the place where they worked, it's a shipyard.
Yeah.
So, that kind of crowd.
So, and they were already drunk, like crazy drunk by the time the show started. And
also, if they weren't drunk, it would be bad enough already.
Yeah. So you get people that don't know how to act at a comedy show, and then you add alcohol on top of it. So they start the show, and immediately there's like a line of people in the front row, and they all want to be part of the show too.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Like when someone's on stage telling jokes, why would you not want to be a part of that too? So there was this one guy sitting up front that wanted to, he had something to say after every single joke people said. And, when I got on stage, I kind of shut him down a little bit because people weren't really, nobody was really going back at him because he was heckling pretty good during everyone's sets, and nobody was really saying anything to him, or they're trying to ignore him or whatnot. I get on stage, and the first thing I tell him was like, I told my first joke, and of course he's like, blah, 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 and like starts talking. I'm like, dude, you've been talking through everybody's sets this whole night. I said, I am hearing impaired, and I can't hear fuck all what you're saying anyway, so you might as well shut up. And luckily, he didn't say shit the rest of my set. But that didn't deter the 50 other people that were in the back of the bar yelling and screaming and laughing and talking. And, it It was interesting to say the least. And I got off stage, walked outside, and our mutual friend Craig, one of the other comedians here on the coast, walked up to me. He's like, "Hey man, what's it like up on stage?" I said, "Well, imagine going to the Humane Society at like 6 in the morning and trying to tell jokes to all the dogs that haven't been fed yet. That's exactly what it's like."
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I mean, and everyone was asking me outside, like William was, Bill Randy, William Wayward, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you want to call him.
William
Craig was
Crab,
asking me,
whatever he's
yeah,
going by this week.
whatever. I'm gonna bring him on the show again soon, by the way.
I love
he
that
has to
dude.
come back on. Fucking love him.
Dude,
Craig was asking
his set, weirdly, his set did well because it's so out there, his comedy, that when he had a joke that would hit, it would hit hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he actually did really well, and Craig was asking me what to do, and I was giving him advice. You know what I mean, like of like how to handle rowdy crowds like this, because I understand how to handle rowdy crowds. I've done this the entire time I've been doing comedy. This was a crowd so rowdy, I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't know. I was giving out such bullshit advice because I couldn't even do it.
We were about 2 steps away from needing chicken wire at the front of the stage, like the Blues Brothers. Like, seriously, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, it was like, okay, here's at the end of the show, Krangus, who runs Landmass Comedy, brought that dude up on stage and was like, "I don't care about the competition anymore. I know I'm not going to win. So basically, I just want to tell you," he turns around to the guy. He's like, "Fuck you. You're the worst human being on the fucking planet. Get the fuck out of this bar." And like kicked him out. Dude's wife was like ready to like kick Krangus's ass and like all this stuff. And after the show, we're waiting for them to and Krangus was the poor guy, was the last one. We all had to draw numbers because there were so many of us. We had to draw numbers out of a hat. There were 21 of us, so Krangus drew 21, and he was the last.
I was 20, by the way.
Yeah. So we get to after the show. We're waiting for them to tally up the votes or whatever, and Krangus is kind of standing a little bit behind me, and that dude comes up, and I thought he was about to start swinging on him because it was getting pretty heated, and at the same time that this is going on. Poor Jacob.
Hold on. I want to tell my whole story.
Go ahead,
about what
dude,
happened.
because there's so much happened at the same exact time.
Yeah, but before we do that, you did mention the Nick Youssef show. I want to touch on that a little bit because I was there the night before for the Nick Youssef show, opening for Nick Youssef. Cool guy. I no quarrels with him at all. He didn't want to talk to us. That's cool, man. He just put in his earbuds and did him. We did us. That's fine. I get it. You don't want to talk to your openers. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
15 people were at the show. Kind of sucks that they didn't sell better than that. Where I do have a problem is he did 2 hours of comedy. Just him. Just him himself. He was on stage for 2 hours. He wasn't killing it. He wasn't doing good enough to warrant another hour of comedy. His hour was good. He did a good hour of comedy. And then he did another hour of comedy. I was done with it. And I'm his opener. I couldn't listen anymore.
Yeah.
I was done. Just after 1 hour, he did 2 hours of fucking comedy. I don't know why. Like, you're not Dave Chappelle. Like, that's something that Dave Chappelle does.
I don't even want to listen to Dave Chappelle for 2 hours.
Right. Like, that's pushing it even. So that's what I have to say about that, basically, is that he did 2 hours of comedy, and I just wasn't into it personally. And that night at the competition, so I expect, like, fine, like, if you want to bring 20-something people to the comedy show to make sure that you win, okay, dude, that's awesome. Go ahead. Whatever. Congratulations. You stacked the deck and you won because you know 28 people and you got them to come to a show. That's one thing. But bringing 28 people who show their fucking asses through the entire thing and then you don't want to take responsibility for it afterwards, that's how you make every comic that's there hate you.
Yeah.
And what that guy did was he essentially made every comic from Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida fucking hate him because no one's going to want to work with him after that. Because if you bring people to your show, it's going to be the worst fucking people in the world. And so,
Yeah, I mean, if I don't, it makes sense to want to bring all your friends and stuff to
sure.
come see you.
Yeah.
And I get that. But you got to let people know that this is a comedy show. This is not a fucking punk rock concert. This is, this is not Hank Williams Jr. concert. Like, you don't have, you're not part of the fucking show. All right. You go to a comedy show. If you don't like the comic that's on stage, go outside or, go get a beer or whatever.
Or just wait 5 minutes and shut your fucking mouth, and then maybe the next comic might be better. Like, don't just fucking yell at people and then shut up for your fucking friend.
Because
and then all leave at the same time.
If you're a heckler, nobody fucking likes you. Nobody because when Krangus kicked that dude out of the bar, the rest of the bar erupted in applause because that dude was fucking everybody up on that fucking stage the entire night. And if that was my friend or somebody that I brought, first thing I would have did is walked up to him and be like, dude, you got to stop, man. Like, that's not how you act at a comedy show.
And we'll get into that discussion a little more later because aforementioned, as this guy was getting kicked out of the bar, I was getting in a fist fight in the streets of Mobile outside the Alabama Music Box because when I was on stage, and I think I know what made this lady mad, is there was these two little blonde girls and this one giant ball cap, obviously manual labor working behemoth of a man.
Yeah, they didn't like me. They left about a minute into my set.
Yeah. It's just this Neanderthal and then two little blonde girls. And
they were just as bad as the other guy. They were talking through everybody's set.
Yeah, and the reason that I specifically said something to this little blonde girl is because she wouldn't shut the fuck up. So I have a joke in my set where I'm talking about porn comments and real comments I've found on Pornhub. And one of the jokes is, this bitch looked like she eat ketchup.
Yeah.
And I pointed out this little blonde woman and I said, you look like you also eat ketchup. and that got a laugh. And then I got off stage and she said, what the fuck does that even mean? As I'm walking by her, and I just ignore her. I don't want to talk to you.
It's a joke.
Yeah, it's you didn't get it. That's fine. And then on her way out of the bar, she says to me, you should write better jokes and not be such a fucking perv. And okay, cool. So what I said back was, you have a big mouth for someone who doesn't know how to fight. Because she's a little blonde girl. You don't know me. I could be insane. You could say that to somebody and then get your shit rocked. I'm just a random person. You don't want to mouth off to people like that. You could get fucked up. You're lucky it happened to me.
Why do people want to fight comedians? They're just fucking jokes, people. I mean,
right.
Unless the comedian physically threatens you from the stage, there's no reason to want to fight a comedian, especially outside the bar when we're just trying to chill out and, talk to each other and whatever. I don't know. People are dumb.
I'm standing against a wall smoking a cigarette next to a bunch of other comedians because I just got off stage. And it was a horrible set that I fucking does not represent me as a comedian. So I'm smoking a cigarette trying to decompress. And then her boyfriend tries to fight me. He's like, what the fuck did you say? Blah, blah, blah. You want to fight? Blah, blah, blah. And now listen, I don't start fights with people, right?
This is a big ass hillbilly shipyard,
Yeah. Much bigger than me, even though I'm fucking yoked. This guy is yoked plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, I'm from Vancouver.
He's the kind of dude that wears a tucked in t-shirt, boots, and a trucker hat, that kind of guy.
Yeah, he definitely
I
tucks his jeans into his
guarantee, I will
pants.
bet you my entire paycheck for this whole week he had a Salt Life sticker on his truck.
For sure. Ford F-150,
Yeah,
100%.
that
Um,
doesn't have a speck of dirt on it.
yeah. It's like I don't start fights, but if someone asks like, "Hey, do you want to fight?" We're going to fucking fight, dude. Like what are you talking about? You want to fight me? Okay, let's go. So I throw down my cigarette. I go to the nearest person next to me. I say, "Hold my glasses." That person didn't hold my glasses. They let my glasses just fall on the concrete. So now
See,
my glasses are scratched.
I wish I would have
Fuck
been
that guy.
outside. Oh God,
Me
I wish I would
too,
have been outside.
dude. That I'm more mad at that guy than the guy that tried to fight me. Fuck that guy that didn't just hold my fucking glasses. And so, this guy just comes up and he takes us, and we're both squaring up and everything, and he takes a swing at me, and I slip it. I slip his punch because I saw it coming from a mile away. I used to box. I understand how to fight. And then his little fucking girlfriend gets in between us and quote unquote drags him down the street as he's talking shit like you can't fucking fight, pussy, all this shit. I'm like, dude, your one punch that you threw came nowhere near hitting me, and I'm just standing there still ready to fight. And your little 80-pound girlfriend is supposedly dragging you down the street. So it's that kind of situation.
Yeah. Welcome to
And
comedy in the South, everybody.
yeah, well, yeah. And that guy, like, I mean, if he hadn't left, he probably would have gotten jumped because I had no understanding that there were like four other comics behind me
Yeah.
who I turned around and they were all like, "Oh, we were about to fight that guy."
Yeah, and the thing is like, if you're gonna try to fight a comedian, just know that every other comedian there is gonna whip your ass too. So
Basically,
that's
yeah,
what I mean. Every time we've had an incident like this, it's like every comedian is just like ready to rock somebody. Like,
for sure.
bring it, asshole. We're all gonna jump on your head.
Yeah, I mean, if someone had swung on you, I would have chased that asshole down the street.
Yeah, if I'd have been
Um,
outside, I would have rocked that dude's head before he even like threw a punch at you.
100%, man.
Like, dude,
And
get the hell out of here, man. Like, what are you doing?
and see, and I brought this to the attention of the person that brought him, the comic that won the competition. And what he said was, "Well, I don't know what happened because I wasn't out here."
It doesn't matter, man. You brought these assholes there, right?
Right.
If this
And
is
on
the type of crowd you're going to bring to our shows, like, we don't want you. Like, that, we don't want you
yeah.
or your hillbilly friends.
And on the other end of that, like, I know for a fact that if I was the asshole in the street starting fights with people, that my friends would call me out on it.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% would expect that.
Yeah.
But
Like, if I bring somebody to the comedy show and they start shit, like, I'll take responsibility for it.
yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. That's just.
The funniest thing about this is the first person I see when I turn around is Craig Williams, and he's all bowed up, and he's like, "What's that guy's problem?" And I'm like, and Craig's been on this show. He's he needs to be protected. He is a magnificent creature. I love that fucking man. I don't want him to try to fight for me. It's like, I got it, buddy. It's like, please don't. I'm, but Craig is a very good friend.
I don't know. Craig might throw some haymakers, man. Knock somebody out. Yeah.
Maybe. But I specifically said too, it's like, I held my hand out behind me. I was like, no, I got this. Like, what is this guy gonna do? I'm yoked to the fucking gills. He's he's got nothing on me.
Why is it always an adventure every time we go out of town?
Well, that's the reason we do it, Jason. So we have stories to tell on our podcast.
But sometimes I miss the good stuff too, like that. I missed that whole thing because I was sitting inside waiting for him to tally up the votes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I didn't care because I knew that I wasn't. I didn't get a single vote, by the way.
Really?
Not even one. No, not a single fucking one.
Yeah, they should have had a better system for the voting thing.
Yeah, I suggested what we used to do, which was every comic gets a vote but can't vote for themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would have been much more fair because the person that won wouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Just
Or we
for
should have
bringing
had
bunch
like
of
a
people.
sheet after we all drew our numbers. We should have had some sheets made up to where, or actually, however many comics there were, and people just write down, as we go through the show, write down who their favorites were, and then at the end, like be like, okay, well, I like this one the best.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. And I don't know who would have won, to be honest, because it was such a shit show. Like I personally don't think anyone didn't bomb. I thought all
Yeah, I
21
think
comics bombed.
everybody bombed at that show. There was no way to win that crowd. There was maybe one comic I saw. It was like the very end of his set, like, and I don't remember his name. I had only seen him that one time. I haven't seen him before. It was a black guy, but I don't remember.
Eddie Kane?
Maybe. Because I was outside, and then when he was on, and then I came back in, and people were talking and stuff, and then he started doing a joke about getting his kids out of the house while he was having sex with his wife because the house was on fire. And it was funny as shit, and he won the crowd over with that joke. And they like screaming and shit when he was done. So he was the only comic I saw that really killed in that room.
Yeah. And, I mean, in turn, he should have won because
if I would have been voting, if I would have had a vote, I would have voted for him. I'd be like, he's the only one that got people in this room to laugh and yell for him.
Right. Yeah, but it's one of those things. I mean, when you enter a comedy competition, you understand that the funniest person is not going to win. 100% of the time, I can guarantee the funniest person will not win any comedy competition that has ever been created.
It's the person who's going to bring the most people.
Right. It just doesn't happen.
Especially if it's a local. If it's a local thing,
Right. Yeah, that's what I said too. I mean, I'm at a home field disadvantage. If you want to have a comedy show in Van Cleve, Mississippi, where I can get everyone I went to high school with to come to the show, I'm going to win 10 out of 10 times. But that's just not how comedy works.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name that won, but
I know his name, but I don't want to,
We've seen him a couple
expose
times.
Him like that.
Met him a couple of times, and I hope he realizes that he should take responsibility for the people that were there that night, and don't bring those people to any more shows. If you want to be a part of this comedy community, don't bring those people around anymore. I'm sorry. Maybe they're probably your good friends, but they don't know how to act. And comedy and a comedy club or
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's so new too that I don't think he understood, because he's just some open micer, of the amount of networking that was going on at this thing. Like, there's comics from all over at this thing. Just because you won $100 in a spot on a future show, you hurt yourself in the long run, because all of those people there will never want to work with you ever again.
Yeah. And it wasn't about winning. I didn't care about winning. I just wanted to get up there and have a 5-minute set in front of, that many potential people, and also to network, because I knew there was going to be comics there that I don't get to talk to very often.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I spent most of my time, outside the venue, shaking hands with other comedians that I'd never met before.
And I had already decided, I was like, if by some chance I even win this thing, which I'm not, if I do, I'm going to split it with you. That's what I was going to do. I didn't give a shit about winning. Yeah.
See, and if I would have won, I probably would have bought new glasses. That's probably what I would have done. And I told the guy that won, I said, hey, I don't want to tell you how to spend your money, but you should, if I won this money, I would buy me new glasses because your fucking friend got my glasses scratched.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, I would get that friend boxing lessons because he fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And he's going to get himself into a fight and get hurt because he can't fucking fight.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of hurting that I could have put on this guy was ridiculous if I wanted to do that. Like, you don't want to start fights if you can't fucking fight, dude. Yeah. Like, the people that can fight never start fights.
Exactly.
But on a lighter note, I may or may not be getting a new job,
Oh
Jason
yeah,
Robbins. Yeah. The Jackson County School District contacted my bosses for letters of recommendation. So I might be working for Jackson County Schools.
nice. Doing what? Substitute teaching?
Maybe actually, the way that their application process works is there's a lot of different jobs that you can apply for. So I applied for full-time janitor, full-time COVID sub, assistant band director. I applied for the fucking gambit. And I don't know what they're thinking of hiring me for, but they contacted my bosses and they made it sound to them like they were going to be losing me soon. So
Hmm.
hopefully I will be working in the schools.
That's not bad. That's awesome.
Yep, yep. Hopefully something will
Yeah,
come
because
of
I
that.
know they're hurting for substitute teachers right now because teachers are out because of COVID, and substitute teachers are out because of COVID, and they don't have any backups. There's
Yeah, that's
no substitute teachers to take over for the substitutes that can't come in.
Yeah, that's what a full-time COVID sub does. Is you're not subbing for one teacher full time. You're a full-time sub for when if a teacher's out, you go to that school and replace that teacher
Yeah.
and you get paid a full-time salary doing that because they need it so bad. So if I had a pick, I would love to be doing that. But I'll mop a fucking floor if I have to, dude. It's I'd get paid better than I'm getting paid now.
Yeah, and you don't have to deal with little kids.
Right. Yeah. I don't have to deal with actually trying to wrangle them. I just have to be like, don't step on my fucking floor, you little shit.
If you were to substitute teach, would it be pretty much just 1 through 12 or like the high school or what?
I think it's all of it. It's just all the Jackson County schools. So yeah,
I'm trying to think if I was to be a substitute teacher, would I want to do elementary school, middle school, or high school? Which ones do you think would be worse?
it's for subs, it is so much worse in middle and high school
I don't know
because
because if I was a substitute, every substitute teacher I ever had was just like, "All right, we're watching a movie today," and they wheel in the
yeah,
TV and they let you watch a movie.
that's true. But also, I feel like kids that are that are old enough to understand. It's like you're not my real teacher. You barely have any authority, and I can just kind of fuck with you.
Yeah,
Like that's like the elementary school level kids are at least like, oh, you're an adult and I need to listen to you because they still
yeah.
have that kind of ingrained in them.
That's why I think if I was to be a substitute teacher, I think I would just rather do elementary school. I don't think I could handle. I think middle schoolers are the worst, honestly.
Yeah.
Like kids aged like 11 to 13 or 14, whatever the middle school range is.
Yeah.
Those are probably the worst human beings on the planet.
100%.
They have zero regard for anything and anyone. They're just little feral animals.
Yeah, I remember the kind of stuff I was doing in middle school. It was worse than the stuff I was doing in high school.
Oh yeah, I was horrible in middle school. Like I would if I go back in time and if I had to deal with myself as a middle schooler, I would have probably murdered me. Probably.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if I discover time travel, I'm gonna use it to just give myself a good smack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go back in
It's a
time
good-
like fucking good Batman style backhand. Just
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I know. And I wish that people would have done that to me when
Stop
I was that
jizzing
age.
in your socks. Your mom knows what that is.
Oh boy. Dude, before we get out of here today, the last little bullet point I had written down to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Finally fucking saw it.
Really?
Such
Finally?
a good. Finally, dude. I told you about this Friday. I saw it.
Well, let's not spoil anything because there's still a lot of people that haven't
Okay.
seen it yet. So
All right, so no spoilers, but I saw it not yesterday, but last Wednesday for my anniversary. Yesterday was my girlfriend's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, nameless girlfriend. Dude, Spider-Man, fucking. Can we say that it's like the best Marvel movie behind Endgame? Like,
oh
is
yeah,
that
easily,
fair?
easily.
Like maybe even ahead of Endgame, depending on who you are.
I mean, I still want to give it some space to like. I'm still letting it like settle in. But
Right.
honestly, I think I might like it better than. I mean, don't get me wrong. Endgame had some of the best moments, but as an entire movie, I think No Way Home has it beat.
Right. I thought that.
Dude, and when
Oh,
Batman showed up and he was, fighting Doctor Who, it was awesome.
I know. It was Val Kilmer's Batman too.
Yeah, Val Kilmer like showed back up, and
I know. Fat as shit. Just just fighting crime, dude. Eating burgers,
yeah, it
and fighting
borders.
crime. But no, I actually thought it was a little a lot slower than I expected it to be. I thought it was a lot slower than Avengers Endgame, but the actual payoff of the movie
Yeah.
is just everything that you could have ever asked for from it. And
I
and that's
was
basically
I was
what
still expecting someone else to. I will talk about it afterwards, but there's. I'll just say it. I was expecting Miles Morales to show up, but
yeah.
he never did. But it would have been cool if they would have actually put him in the movie. But he's nowhere in the MCU or anything yet, except for what, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Right. And in Spider-Man 3, there was a little boy helping Aunt May move and clear out all of her stuff that was named Miles. That's assumed to be Miles Morales.
Okay.
But that's the closest we've ever gotten to live action Miles Morales, is just a little boy helping Aunt May move.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we'll probably start trying any future Spider-Man movies, we're going to start phasing out Tom Holland. Because he probably doesn't want to play Spider-Man forever. So eventually they're going to have to bring in Miles Morales for the next phase of Marvel movies or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to have to eventually. And I mean, even though this was like our first touch on the Spider-Verse, I don't think this is our last time seeing the Spider-Verse.
No, definitely not. I mean, I can't wait for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, me too. That was great.
This movie just made me even more excited for that movie because spoilers. These movies are going to tie together, because I mean, you saw that, if you haven't seen it yet and you've seen a trailer, that Doctor Strange is in the movie.
Right. Yeah. And not necessarily a spoiler because this part's in the trailer for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. The Dark Doctor Strange from the What If series is going to be in the fucking movie. How awesome is that?
I know. I'm ready to see. I want to watch it now.
Yeah, dude. I had no hype for this movie before seeing No Way Home. And not really a spoiler, but one of the post-credit scenes for No Way Home is a trailer for Doctor Strange.
Well,
so watching that in the theaters made me super fucking stoked.
Well, yeah, the only Marvel movie I've really been excited about, I mean, besides No Way Home, was Multiverse of Madness, because I still haven't seen Shang-Chi. I still haven't seen the Eternals. And honestly, I don't really care. I mean, if I watch them, I watch them. If I don't, I don't. But once I saw No Way Home, then my excitement for Multiverse of Madness went tenfold. I was like, okay, I'm really ready to see this movie now.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same exact thing for me. And you should watch Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a good movie.
I am. I mean, I know the character. I had a couple of old Shang-Chi comics, when I was a kid, but I was never a huge fan or anything. It was kind of like he's kind of like Iron Fist, whereas it never really got into the kung fu stuff that Marvel was doing. So I mean, if I'm gonna watch one, I'm gonna watch that one. I don't really give a shit about watching the Eternals, honestly.
Yeah, dude, don't. It was so bad. It's 2 hours and 46 minutes of just dog shit movie.
I think they tried to do with that. I think they were expecting to maybe capture that Guardians of the Galaxy thing, because nobody really knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were until that movie. And this was another property. I think this was, giving a shout out to Jack Kirby, because the Eternals was his thing back in the day.
Right.
Jack the King Kirby, and who, along with Stan Lee, developed all these Marvel characters, but the Eternals was all his. So I understand that they want to kind of give Jack Kirby his due, but at the same time, I didn't give a shit about the Eternals comics. I don't give a shit about the movie.
Yeah, dude, watching that movie, knowing it's 2 hours and 46 minutes, the whole time I'm just picking
Really?
out things. 2 hours and 46 minutes.
See, I think 2 hours and 15 minutes is like kind of pushing it. Like,
Yes,
but I mean, even Spider-Man was like 2 hours 15 minutes. I think that's enough time for a
that's
comic book
plenty.
movie. Anything more than that, and it's just like I don't want to sit in a theater for 3 hours.
I was the whole time I was picking out scenes that just didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I've heard that
Like
from
they
like a bunch of people that like you could have cut like an hour out of that movie easy.
100%. You could have cut all 2 hours and 46 minutes of the movie and made something better. Like
Yeah.
there's just it has no tie into anything. There's no reason for it to exist, and it's a bad fucking movie. So
And I'm an editor at heart, so when I watch movies, and especially movies that are too long, if I'm sitting there bored and I'm just like all I'm thinking about is what I would have cut out of this movie, you know.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like every character entrance is like too elaborate. All the flashback scenes just didn't need to be there. Just
Yeah.
explain it. You know what I mean? Don't show me. Just you can tell. You can tell me. I know that's bad for filmmaking, but if showing me involves a 20-minute flashback, then just put it in dialogue. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Especially if it doesn't have anything to do with future, like setting up anything for future Marvel movies. I don't
Right.
care. I really don't care.
Yeah, nothing at all. I mean, the biggest thing that happens, spoiler alert, some of the Eternals die. Okay, cool.
I
That's
tell you
it.
what I am excited about though. That new Batman with dude.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm
They showed the trailer for that before No Way Home. My dick was hard.
yeah. That movie looks like it's going to be craziness.
Oh, dude, I'm so fucking excited. And I'm like the biggest fucking Batman nerd.
And,
Day one for me, dude.
and it's supposed to be a lot of Batman Year One stuff in there, and that's one of my favorite comics of all time is Batman Year One. So if they get anywhere close to the comic book,
Yeah.
I'm down. And I'm okay with Robert Pattinson
Yeah,
playing
for sure.
Bruce Wayne Batman. I think he looks cool. Now, what it's going to come
I
down
wasn't
to?
I wasn't until the trailer came out. Yeah.
What is his voice going to sound like as Batman? Is he going to do the stupid Christian Bale? We're the detonators or whatever he says. Like I don't want to hear that. I want to hear like just a deep voice.
Right, yeah. And we hear a little bit of his voice in the trailer, but and it sounds a lot closer to Christian Bale than I would want it.
Oh,
But
come on. I've been
you know,
trying to I've been trying to avoid trailers. I watched I
really.
think the first trailer. There was a trailer that dropped a couple of months ago, and I watched. I was like, all right, I'm not watching any more trailers after this. I want to go into this movie cold, like with no expectations.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's a point in the trailer where he beats up some goon, and they ask like, "Who are you, anyways?" And he says, "I'm vengeance." And it sounds a little closer to
Well,
Christian Bale.
at least if
than
he's
you want.
intelligible, that'll be nice. Because Christian Bale, like
Yeah.
I watch those movies now, and I have to watch. I watch with subtitles anyway. But even at the time when I had hearing, I still couldn't understand what he was saying.
Right, yeah.
Where are the detonators? Tell me what the
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone's worried that it's going to be too close to Batman Begins too, but I feel like those people don't understand that Batman Begins and Batman Year One are not very similar.
Yeah, and
In
we
all
don't need to
actuality.
see his
'Cause-
parents dying. We don't need it. I'm gonna call
Right,
Matt
right.
Reeves like right now and be like, dude, if you got that scene in there, if I see pearls hitting the ground, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving the theater.
I'm leaving the
I don't need to see
theater.
it.
I don't need to see it. See, that's what they got right with Spider-Man this time around. We didn't need to
Mhm.
see Uncle Ben dying. We didn't need to see any of that.
Right.
They just dropped us in, and he was already Spider-Man at that point. Like I'm
Right.
okay. We're pop culture fans. Who doesn't know that Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered in an alley? Why do we need to see it every fucking movie?
Right, yeah. And in the new iteration of Spider-Man, he didn't even have an Uncle Ben.
Yeah, he was
Uncle
already
Ben didn't
dead.
even exist.
He might have been dead.
I don't even know if he.
We don't even know if
I don't
he
know if
died
he
or not.
even existed.
Yeah. Mm,
All we know is his parents are dead, I guess.
yeah.
But he didn't have an Uncle Ben or anything.
No.
Not even mentioned.
Didn't make no rice or nothing.
Not a single bit of it. Not a single bit of rice. Oh man.
On that note, you want to go ahead and start wrapping this thing up?
Yes, my mom bought a king cake today, and it is calling my name.
Dude,
so
I bought one like 3 days ago and we ate the whole damn thing in like 3 days.
I'm about to cut off a fourth of this king cake and fucking go to town, dude. I'm so
and
excited.
then our friend Mike over at B-Res Coffee sent me. I have to do a little job for him. I got to me and Wally have to sign some stuff and send back to him. But he sent me a bag of king cake flavored B-Res coffee. I made my first cup of it last night, and holy shit! If you're not getting a bag of king cake flavored B-Res coffee, you're missing out, man. Dude, that cup of coffee was it was so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I actually told Mike that I was gonna just show up to your house with a cup.
I'll make you a cup. Whole beans too. I got my little grinder downstairs and grind up some fresh coffee. Yeah.
All right, sounds like a date to me.
Oh yeah. We'll eat some king cake and drink king cake coffee. It'll be a king cake party. It'll just be king cake all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wake up the next morning.
Diabetes. I need to capture that diabetes.
Yes, dude. And check it often. It's the right thing to do and the tasty way to do it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the oatmeal commercial, right?
Yep. It's the right thing to do and the tasty way to do it. I'm Wilford Brimley.
Fucking love Wilford Brimley, dude. Rest in peace to that absolute fucking legend.
Wilford Brimley. Go watch The Thing and realize that. Watch that movie and realize that me and him are the same age. Him in that movie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Gone too soon. Dead at 39.
What?
Yeah, dude. He died at 39.
Yeah, right. How did that dude look 70?
Let's get out of here, Jason.
How did that dude look 70 when he was 40? Like, I don't understand that.
He's the opposite of Paul Rudd.
Yeah, like Paul Rudd looks like he's
a
like
reverse
25.
vampire.
I don't get it. I think the QAnon people are right. I think they're drinking the blood of innocent virgins or something.
Yeah, and Wilford Brimley is, I don't know, doing the opposite of that.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of drinking virgin blood?
Eating oatmeal.
Yeah, he's eating oatmeal and it's making him older.
All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. Anything you want to tell the people before we leave tonight?
Sure, man. Every Tuesday night at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, I host the open mic there. So come by and get some stage time or just, stay for a laugh. And next Wednesday, we will not be having a show. We're going to do the show on a different night that week because both me and Jason will be recording our comedy sets January 26th at the Juke Joint to send to producers and whatnot. It's going to be like a not for Netflix comedy taping, basically. And yeah, man, we could use all the audience members we can get absolutely free. So just come by for the show and that'll do it for me.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say too, was come out to the Juke Joint 26th and see us all, record our sets, and be there for us. We need you. But don't be assholes. Don't heckle. If you come to the comedy show, be nice, laugh.
I will fist fight you in the street. We've established this.
Yeah, we will hit you in the face with a microphone, right in the forehead, right here, so you have a big like grill mark right between your eyes of a microphone hitting you. Yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
I don't either. I thought maybe you had something, but that's it. But yeah, let's go and get out of here. If you'd like to email us at openmikerspodcast@gmail.com, at openmikers on Twitter and Instagram, openmikerspodcast on Facebook. Openmikers.com takes you straight to our Patreon, where as little as $1 a month gets you the extra episodes and you get the shows early. So head on over there and do that. Keep the lights on for us. And we will see you guys next week. That was a
Ooh,
show.
Cool. It was a show. No one can deny it.
Yes.
We did it.
Thank you for watching on Twitch, and all you guys that are going to be watching, and gals that are going to be watching on YouTube later. Thank you very much.
8% female listeners now.
Yes. I haven't looked at the statistics, but we do have like 7% female listeners. What was it?
8%. 8%. Don't nix us that percent, baby.
We went up. We went up 1%. Awesome.
Yeah,
it's this pre-face right here. They like it. Look at it.
Yeah, I think they like muscles better because boom, yoked, boy.
Yolked. I still need to make that T-shirt. I'll work on that this next week or so. We'll have a Yolked by Jacob on a shirt.
Nice.
So thank you guys. We'll see you next week.